Hello and welcome back to my channel. For the first time in a long time, we have a speed build. I made a house just with like a creepy graveyard next to it, trying to use mostly life and death. It didn't work out that way. There's some other stuff in it, but that was the original goal that I tried to go for. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do and actually talk through the speed build. But what I'm not going to do is use my face cam because I haven't put on makeup today. It's been a very lazy day outside of playing The Sims and doing this build, which I actually got done in one day, which is really nuts for me. But yeah, I'm going to try to kind of talk you guys through my thought process. So I've kind of just had like a lot of stuff. As people know, I've had like a lot of stuff going on and I just haven't really gotten to play with building in Life and Death quite yet. I've done a lot of gameplay, but I really wanted to get into building. And I love doing absolutely like rundown builds. Like I love it. It makes me so happy. So that's kind of that's definitely what we're doing here. I'm really bad at getting shapes of my builds correct. I don't know why, but I get really like anxious and also in the very beginning, I know you can't tell because it's on a speed build. I bought a second monitor. I impulse bought a second monitor last week and I've been trying to work out all the kinks with that. It's been a little rough, I cannot lie. It's been a process, but I think that I mostly have it figured out, but like sometimes whenever I pull up The Sims on my second monitor or on my monitor, not my laptop, it gets really laggy. So for a lot of the first part of the build, I was dealing with that. And then like I just exited out and went back in and it kind of started working again. So I don't really know what was going on with that. And here you have me messing with the roof. I honestly didn't do a lot of roof messing with this time around. I kind of just didn't want to. Like I said, this is my first build in months that like I've completed. And I just kind of took it a little bit easier. I didn't do anything fancy with tool really that I used to or have done in the past. I'll probably get back into doing stuff like that. I just didn't in this particular build. I just kind of wanted to keep it a little bit simple, but also make it interesting and fun to look at. But so talking about the life and death pack, I really like the holes. That's perfect. Like I really like that a lot. That's they did a good job with those. In my opinion. Sorry, I just yawned. I'm a little sleepy. I am currently in between jobs. So I have just been taking it easy the past couple days. Actually been really like kind of messed up. Not feeling my best. I don't know. It's been kind of stomach ache, headache. I don't know, probably stress. But I finally decided to like log in and do some gaming today, which is really exciting. Has anybody noticed whenever you adjust the height of columns with using the bracket keys, it doesn't always stay. Like whenever you load out and load back in, it'll be the regular height. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And speaking of this pack, I am obsessed with the broken windows. I think I used nothing but broken windows. The whole house is just broken. And then I found out they had swatches of broken windows for these little guys too, which was super exciting because I didn't know that they did before I started this build. So that was really funny, getting to find that out and having fun with that. I am obsessed with the windows. I'll probably use them in a lot of builds. Like I said, I really love doing rundown, just like grody, nasty builds. And I actually, unpopular opinion, I'm sure, but like the build buy of Life and Death, I kind of wish it was more like macabre. I guess you could say, like, okay, it's macabre, but it's kind of like polished macabre, if that makes sense. Like, I wish it was kind of more like dirty, grody. And we definitely have packs dedicated to that specifically, I would say. Like, basement treasures, stuff like that, or at least kits for the more dirty, rundown builders, like vampires, werewolves, has a lot of stuff like that. But, I just kind of wish Life and Death had a little bit more of that. Truly, I do. I do like that we got some swatches for paint that was like it's for any items really that were like kind of grody and dirty. I was super surprised that we only got one floor with Life and Death. I definitely thought that was interesting. I don't know why they made that decision, but you know what? It's probably not for me to know, right? It's not my job. But so yeah, getting into a little bit of the landscaping here. I do most of it towards the end. I kind of feel like with this build specifically, I did like the outside. I went the wrong way on that plant. But I kind of did the outside and then I did the inside. I did furnish it, which I don't always furnish things. Sometimes I just do shells because I like doing outsides and landscaping way more than I like decorating, because I just don't really think I'm great at decorating, to be honest. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe other people disagree with me, or anybody that's seen my builds or follows my builds, maybe they would disagree, but I don't know, man. I just don't think I'm really too great at interiors in comparison to exteriors and landscaping, because that is definitely what has my heart. So, but I hope everybody else is having a fantastic week so far, or at least a better week than I am. I noticed a bunch of people are moving to Blue Sky Social, which I also did. I'll probably keep Twitter, just because, I've been on Twitter since 2008, because I'm old. Not on Sims Twitter, but like my regular account. 2008, it's kind of wild. But, so I'll probably just keep pressing like not interested in this post, blocking everything that has to do with politics on my Sims Twitter specifically. That way it can kind of just be like my safe space for just Twitter, or just Sims content. That's all I want to see on my Sims Twitter. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, like I've definitely been involved in political discussions on my Sims Twitter. I think that stuff like that can be important, but at this point I'm like, I don't want to see it anymore. I just want my Sims Twitter to be a Sims Twitter. So I did this kind of like tower moment. The top floor of it is not functional. I just thought it looked kind of cool. I was kind of almost going for like a clock tower type thing. However, I didn't end up finishing that. I just left it as is like that. And then here I go, just kind of like doing some lighting, and I just dirtied things up. I do really love those string lights that came with Life and Death. However, they didn't work out really well in this build, but I was a big fan. So like I said at the beginning, I didn't keep this solely to Life and Death, just because I wasn't interested in doing that. I do kind of like, also I play with these stairs for way too long. I still don't know that I like them. It ended up being kind of like weird, but it is what it is. I did what I did and I went with it. Wow, sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. But, yeah, it's gone. And the way that I'm recording this is I'm kind of just doing, obviously, a voiceover for the speed build. So the build will probably keep going, and I can't really, like, go back and erase what I'm saying. So I'm just going to talk in, like, one long, like, I think this video is about 30 minutes, which isn't terrible for a speed build. I would like to stay around 20, but, if you speed up, I use Adobe products, and if you speed up the footage too much, it's not going to look good. So it's going to get really choppy. So I try to, if my speed builds have to be longer because of that, then that's just what's going to happen. That's just the case. So, here I was figuring out the wallpaper. I am like a really big fan of that wallpaper, the new really grungy, dirty looking one. Yeah, like the kitchen countertops from Life and Death, I'm not crazy about. Again, that's another example of I wish it was more like kind of like dirty macabre rather than polished macabre. If that makes sense. And so here I go, just looking through debug. I do have Better Build By and Tool. I use them religiously. Those are my core 4 mods. MC Command Center, UI Cheats extension, which I feel like UI Cheats doesn't get enough credit. I use that way more than I use MC Command Center, but that's just me. Tool and Better Build By, because I definitely am a builder. I've been getting into Create-A-Sim a lot more, so I definitely use the more columns, because I can't imagine looking at it with is it 2? That's like the default for the game. Yeah, no. I'm good on that, big dog. There's no way. Yeah, so I had some trouble getting the right swatches of exactly what I wanted for the cabinets, but I think I figured it out, well enough. I used the For Rent stove and the hood. And I think that they were Horse Ranch cabinets, I believe. So again, I just kind of tried to like dirty it up a good bit, like make it look run down, but it is definitely still a functional. I didn't play test it because there wasn't anything that stuck out in my eyes whenever I was building as anything that really needed to be play tested. That would be like funky or weird or needed to test. So it should still be fully functional. So if you want your Sims to live in a completely like rundown kind of nasty looking house, maybe like a fixer upper type thing, I mean, it's on the gallery. My gallery information would be in the bottom, the description of this video, as per usual. Again, I'm also a big clutter fan, but I feel like I didn't clutter this as much as I like normally do. Again, it's just trying to get back into building, I guess, because it's been like 3 months. I've been more focused on gameplay and also like Create-A-Sim. Like I said, I feel like I've been getting kind of better at that and just more interested in that. So, like, okay, yeah, here's an example. Like that trash pile is in front of those bookcases, but there's like 3 others, so should be good on that. I kind of had like a weird funky moment with these with the flooring in here, with doing the control F, yes, to get those quarter tiles. But then I kept doing this, and it wasn't like proper. It wasn't like really doing what I wanted it to do. So I think it ends up being a little bit different. I'm 99% sure it does. And then again, I love the For Rent decals. I know that some simmers have recently asked for like decals or like posters in a separate category. And I fully support that for sure. I also, one thing I've always kind of wanted for plants is their own category, like hanging plants versus short plants versus tall plants. Like that would make my day. I found that random, like, kind of like macabre looking arch that we just saw in debug, so I put it outside. Or it may not have been debug, I don't know, but I had never seen it before. Put some cracks in the walls, put a baseball bat against the wall because, like, why not? As much as I wanted to have that portrait of the Grim Reaper somewhere in this build, or just like in general from the tarot card paintings in the Life and Death pack, I just didn't think Grim went very well with this build. He was a little bit too whimsical for what I was going for, I feel. So, and that was just me. Here I go, putting a big hole in the floor. I love it. And just candles everywhere in this build. Again, I didn't really use as much clutter as I normally would, but that was just me trying to, I don't know, almost, I guess, like, feel like I accomplished something by doing a build video today. If that sounds weird, but like, with it having been as long as it has been since I've done one, I really just wanted to get something out today, and I did. So, you know what? I'm really proud of myself. Truly. So, yes. So now we are going to look at kind of what I did with, oh no, something's wrong with my technology. Oh no, I found it. Okay. It's okay. I can save this. You guys don't have any idea why I'm like freaking out right now, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. It's all good. I just have to find this clip and figure out why this happened, but I don't know why or understand it, and I can't find the clip. It's okay. Technical difficulties are part of it. I don't know if anybody here like came to my first ever stream like last week, but it went kind of horribly. I had so many technical issues. It was it was not good at all. It was like everything was freezing. It just was not doing what it was supposed to do. But luckily simmers are like the coolest people in the world as far as like being, I would say being like forgiving and being supportive. Because I definitely, what is happening right now? Oh no, I'm glitching right now. Oh no. It's fine. Everything's going to be just fine. Definitely going to be okay. Okay, so crisis averted. I figured it out. It was like somehow, I don't know how, again, how familiar you guys are with Adobe specifically or like filming in general, but like I had a clip that was 3 seconds long in my timeline and somehow I got yeeted all the way to like the back of the thing. And anyway, it was a little bit hard to fix. And I just burped. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I'm sorry if you did. You know, it's natural. It's normal. So, oh, here we go. The stair rail glitch again. I thought it was just the For Rent stair railing that was doing that, but I thought I used the one from Life and Death. Oh, Lord. So as you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's super annoying. It needs to be fixed. It's been a long time. But I think, yeah, there it is. It came back. It showed back up. So that's absolutely lovely. You know, you love to see it. You know, in that moment right there, I was trying to take like the ancient face thing. The ancestor, it's called the ancestor, not the ancient. I was trying to like take him down and like size it down and see how low it would go. Obviously it didn't go low enough. So that's what that was. I was just making myself kind of giggle with that. But so, there's nothing really grand about it though, because the whole thing's a crap hole. The whole thing is just shitty. But you know, like I said, I love doing builds like this. Had I had a little bit more patience and a little bit more desire, I think I would have looked a little bit harder at some stuff. But you know what? It's okay. It's going to be fine. It's my first build in 3 months. I don't need to be so hard on myself. Like I am all the time. All the time. But that's okay. You know, sometimes you have to be. So I really think I'm figuring out the second monitor thing, which is great because this is something I've always wanted to have before I started streaming. Which maybe, well, I'll do some of that this week. We shall see. We shall see, because I had fun in that last one. And now that I think I'm figuring out like these kind of like issues, I think that I'm going to only get better at being more tech savvy with it, if that makes sense. Like I think I'm going to hopefully retain a lot of that information, which with my memory, it's kind of a big ask. But, and hopefully my streams in the future will be more successful on my end, technology-wise. But yep, here I go, just cluttering up. I try to use some things in this build that like I don't normally use, like that cats and dogs, like trunk thing with books on top of it. I never use that. here we go in the first bathroom. I did the really crappy like linoleum. Um, I probably should have changed the color of the shower. I just wanted to use the one from Life and Death, so that's what I did. I find myself using base game toilets all the time. Like, I don't really venture out with my toilets at all. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't change the color of that. It's okay, it's fine. It's no big deal. Curtains also in The Sims. I have a really big issue with the fact that you cannot alt place curtains or mirrors. It really bothers me because none of the curtains seem to be the right size. Another big gripe I have, while I'm going off, another big gripe I have is how far the kind of curtains protrude. Like, I understand that that's realistic, but every time I place curtains, I have to alt place whatever's in front of it, like a ways out, just because they do poke out so much, and it looks dumb if you don't kind of fix that, in my opinion. But I'm probably just making it harder on myself. So this bathroom, I believe, is about done. I just, cluttered it up, put candles everywhere. I always feel like that's my little, like, signature move. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does it, so I'm just being an idiot. But, like, I always put that bathrobe on the back of the bathroom door. Because, like, I have a bathrobe on the back of my bathroom door. I don't use it very often, but it's there if I want it. It's very cozy. But I'm so hot-natured, I am not wearing bathrobes. Let's get real. It's just not happening for me. Coming upstairs, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. As you can tell, I kind of just was... I ended up doing another, like, kid's bedroom. It could be kind of anything, though. It's definitely set to be a bedroom, but there's, like, a little living area in it and stuff, too. So, if you wanted to take this build and like edit it, I would be totally down to see what somebody would do. I think that part right there is me being flabbergasted with the fact that there's only one floor swatch in Life and Death. Where I kind of paused for a moment. I think that's what my brain was doing for sure. Yeah, I was just like, is this a joke? This is another item I never really use, or the mirror, the trunk desk, the trunk dresser, or the trunk, or that mirror. I never really use either one of them. I'm such a creature of habit whenever it comes to my builds, and I really only use certain things, but like, I'm trying to learn to stop doing that. And here we go with having to use tool for the blinds again. So annoying. So annoying. Maybe I'm just using the wrong curtains, and I should be using them because I really only build on short wall heights. I don't know what you guys build on. You should let me know if you've watched thus far what wall height you build on, but I've just always liked short. I don't know. Medium is... I guess I could build in medium, but tall, there's no way. It's overwhelming. I did a castle build in tall walls one time, and that's the only build I think I've done. And now I was kind of running out of motivation to finish this build. Like, I feel confident with saying that. I don't feel weird about saying that at all, just because I just explained that I'm not really great at interiors. I prefer exteriors and landscaping, and that's just me. So I decorate the best that I can. I promise. And now we're moving on to this bathroom, and after this bathroom, there's just one more little thing that I did, and then that does it. And we can get into one of probably like I said, like my favorite parts, which is landscaping. I really need to get into the market for just exteriors and landscaping, because or maybe just rooms. But like, furnishing a whole house is exhausting to me. It's just not something I really want to do. Like, again, here, wishing I could alt place a mirror, but I can't, so I have to use tool. Always thank God for Twisted Mexty. I've shouted him out as a modder so much in all of my videos. All of my builds especially. Like, gosh. Just such an amazing guy. Such a great person. We love it. Again, just... I couldn't remember which pile of laundry was, like, just kind of a prop and which one was, like, interactive. Because, look... I don't know about you guys, but I thought the idea of washers and dryers were great. until I started having to use them with gameplay. And then I was like, not so great. So I tried not to put laundry in my builds. I don't do it very often. But I do like the idea of like clothes laying around from like messy teens. That's kind of the moment I was having, was like with this bedroom, was like messy teens. And that's kind of what my thought process was there. But I couldn't remember, like I said, which clothing pile. Just layering trash. Which clothing pile was functional, I couldn't remember, so I don't know which one it is. So that's that. You ever put something down and then you hate it because that's what just happened? I love another thing I have to do with bathrooms. Two things I have to do with bathrooms. I have to have a mat coming out of the shower, and I have to have toilet paper rolls everywhere because that's just relatable to me, because that's what we have at my house. Like, we renovated our bathroom a couple months back, and we haven't rehung the toilet paper roll holder thing yet, so we just put it on the back of the toilet. I know, it's funny. We're getting around to it. We're definitely getting around to it type of people. But we'll get there eventually. And then I have this kind of side room off to the side, which I kind of just made it like a cave. Not a cave. Maybe, I guess you could say that. But then I remember that For Rent had all these really cute, like, cool, like, radiators, or like, and stuff like that. Not radiators, but you know what I'm trying to say. But like pipes and stuff. So I decided to put some of those in that bathroom. Probably could have put some more in the build in general, but I did not. It was not a creative decision that was made. And then this little area, I kind of just made it into a chess area. I like having a chessboard in houses. I like having a couple like skill things. Like I said, I don't know how I'll use this house in terms of gameplay. But we gotta have smart sims. We have to, right? So we're getting kind of close to the end now. I think it's about 4 minutes left. Just looking at it, I like to do like out shots and just like kind of pan around the camera a good bit, just to really look and see what I'm doing. I always like a pond moment in builds, especially rundown builds, because I can use that like gross film on top of like a nasty pond, and I put just a bunch of fireflies because I love fireflies. Okay, like, I grew up in the South. We have fireflies everywhere, and there's not as many as there were whenever I was a kid. I don't know if that has to do with global warming, but it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I just tried to, with landscaping, sometimes I do try to stick with, I'm not saying it's an all the time thing, but sometimes I do try to stick with like the plants from the world. I definitely don't do it all the time. I'm trying to get better about doing that, because I definitely see the advantages, because it does, like, this build definitely does fit in very nicely with the rest of Ravenwood. And this specifically is Morningdale, the really creepy neighborhood, because I love that. But so I noticed that it does fit in very well with the rest of the neighborhood whenever I was on the world map view. So I tried in this one. I kind of just tried to make it like overgrown. I really like that little blue plant. Like, I used it a good bit. I think it's like blue shrubbery, blue bush, blue grass, something like that. But that's what I kind of like decided to go with, and I used that a good bit. This was a last moment idea, because any kind of like haunted house to me, I think it's because I grew up going to one, like breaking into one whenever I was a teenager. It had a wraparound fountain in the like a wraparound driveway, and that was so creepy to me. So I usually put those in like builds that I do that are supposed to be like haunted. And of course I use the terrain paint to get under the plants to give it more depth. That's honestly such a good trick. Like, whoever thought of that originally is so smart. I'm sure it was forever ago, because everybody knows that, but it's really great. I thought the back of the house looked a little bit bare. Um, I wasn't totally sold on wrapping the whole thing in bushes, but I ended up doing it because it did look a little bare in my opinion. But I used a different bush for the back, just kind of more like dilapidated, kind of dark, kind of dead. So that is what I did in the back of the house, if you will. Reminds me of working in restaurants, which hopefully I'm done with. I mean, we'll see. We shall see. But anywho, this is just about gone. Oh no, my little graveyard. Yeah, so that also clicks to that. That definitely slots to that. So that was cool. I did a little graveyard moment off to the side of the house. It's not accessible from inside the house, only the outside. But, whatever. I just thought it'd be cool to have, especially focusing on life and death as the primary pack used in this build, to have that going on. Actually, that little thing might be from Romantic Garden. Oh, and here I am just testing out my G shades, but I pretty much always use Dove 2.0 for screenshots. Oh, and I went back in because I knew I needed that creepy little girl. So that is going to do it for the portion of, and that's going to do it for this build. Again, I really want to get back into building. I need to. I love it so much. It just takes me so long because I'm such a slow builder. Maybe I'll do like a YouTube video or a live stream of me trying to do a build on a time limit, because I've seen that that's a thing recently, and God, I'd be so bad at it, but it'd probably be so chaotic and funny. But anywho, I hope that everybody has a lovely rest of your evening, and always remember to be curious and not judgmental. Bye.